Cambrian home, the name synonymous with imparting excellence in education, that hallowed seat of learning, teaching its students the arts, commerce, sciences, and knowledge of Oriental and Occidental cultures, equipping its young to shoulder responsibilities, and inculcating spiritual values of life in them. Decade after decade, generations of young Cambrianites have passed through your portals, bright, confident, self-reliant, ever ready to meet the challenges life has in store for them. To greater heights, Cambrian Hall, my alma mater. Yes, as I journey back to celebrate this auspicious occasion, my heart is bursting with happiness, and my excitement for time and distance have not dulled the feelings of affection and camaraderie built up under the umbrella of this august institution. And lastly, home amongst these surroundings where I spent the best years of my life, my school, Cambrian Hall. Today, as we meet to celebrate the glorious 50 golden years of the school, I cannot help but remember and pay homage to the loving memory of the man who made all this possible, the late Colonel Shashi Shamsher Jung Bahadur Rana, our founder. Colonel Shashi, as he was lovingly called, nurtured Cambrian Hall for 34 years with the utmost dedication, commitment, love, and care. He gave of himself tirelessly, and those that helped build this institution into the eminent seat of learning that it is today. Our story begins on the 9th of September 1931 in Jayakhel Bardar, Kathmandu, where a young prince was born into the family of His Highness the late Maharaja Judha Shamsher Jung Bahadur Rana and his Maharani. The atmosphere of the Darbar rang with the blowing of conch shells, temple bells, and priests offering prayers, announcing the arrival of the newborn prince. Blessings were showered upon the baby, and astrologers predicted that the prince would one day be remembered as a great humanitarian and a doer of good deeds. Colonel Shashi had a wonderful childhood, full of joy, comfort, luxury, the care and affection of his parents and siblings, and a large retinue of servants at his command. Yet, in spite of all this, he also went through the rigorous life in the palace that demanded punctuality, obedience to orders, great respect for elders, and developing an interest and playing of all sports. The ethos, values of life inculcated in him during his childhood stood him in good stead all his life. The late Maharaja Judha Shamsher Jung Bahadur Rana shifted to Dehradun for medical treatment in 1947-48 and decided to reside at 13 Young Road. Consequently, Shashi too came to Dehradun and was admitted to St. Joseph's Academy for the schooling. The young Shashi proved himself to be a brilliant student and secured the first division of the senior Cambridge exam, Kumari, in 1953. Colonel Shashi conceived the idea of starting an educational institution which would cater for all-round education on the pattern of
सभी फैमिली थोड़ा वही था, ऑब्वियसली था। ये नहीं था कहाँ से इसलिए स्कूल खोला, ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं कर पाएगा। उनका इतना डिटर्मिनेशन था, वो इतना डिटर्मिनेशन नहीं, मैं कर जाऊँगा। तो 5 से 8 1500 वो सिंस ही वॉज ए स्टूडेंट एंड उनका एक इरादा था कि एक दिन में एक स्कूल खोलने का पहले से आराम से मेरे से कहता है एक दिन स्कूल खोलना है, क्योंकि जब मैंने जिंदगी में मैंने बचपन में मैंने मुझे जो नहीं मिला था मैं वो करना चाहता हूँ।
He had an immense interest in education and he worked with a missionary zeal for its cause.
What we are eating today. And see all these beautiful people coming out of school, so talented, everyone doing so well. And there is really no difference today whether you come out of Wellham or you come out of Cayman Hall or you come out of Doon School. It's what you become and what you achieve with your life. The education is the same.
In every successful man, there is a woman. And I think it may quite safely be said here that his wife, Rani Chandralal Lakshmi, encouraged her husband into the very capable hands of men of learning, handpicked by him for their skills as tutors, administrators, and sports teachers.
On 2nd July 1984, the school founder, Shashi Shamsherji Rana, was the man who had brought me over here. And he gave me 2-3 tasks to be fulfilled.
If I would have been a painter, I would have just sketched it and drawn, here Mrs. Goswami and here Mrs. And then they used to look like that.
First day, our little footsteps marching into junior school, and afterwards, the rush to the dining hall, lest some greedy child gobble up our share of goodies. Days filled with the wonders of learning, be it the intricacies of the English language or the mysteries of the chemistry lab. Quiet, fruitful moments spent in the library. As an NCC cadet,
the formative years of my life, it was the peak of schooling, preparing me for it.
And I really feel that it was all taught in a playful way. If it was academic, they taught us the method of studying, how to remember, not to learn by rote when first important.
सुबह आया करती थी और दोपहर को छोड़ने आया करती थी और वो बस की बॉडी वुडन थी, सब लकड़ी की बनी हुई थी, बड़ा एक अच्छा माहौल. Those times I can't recreate for my kids also. If they are living in a different time, they won't go through that experience which I went through. It was a complete family atmosphere. Teachers used to take absolutely individual, they used to treat you like they were.
swells with pride at being a Cambrianite. I salute you, Cambrian Hall. To greater heights, this soft pledge will